Hello everyone, it's Mari. Welcome to GSM World News Live. We're going to try this out. This is basically this is a first for me, doing live news reporting, just the world news live. We'll see how it goes. I might not always have my chat up to see you guys, so just bear with me here. I'm going to go ahead and just dive into the world news. We have been covering Hurricane Dorian so much. I have just completely lost the amount of news. Oh my God, I'm so far behind. Hurricane Dorian right now is sitting at a Cat 1. The wind speeds are around 90 miles an hour with a pressure of 958. Right now, it's definitely picked up lots of speed. It's moving now northeast at 17 miles an hour. If I have time, I'll check the power and see where the outages and all that were. But let's hop into some world news here. Another wave of deadly floods after record rainfall paralyzes Mumbai, India. Record rains hit Mumbai on September 4th, 2019, resulting in widespread flooding. At least 5 people were killed and 1 remains missing. We have 42 people killed and 5,497 homes destroyed as floods batter Niger in West Africa. Intense rains produced deadly floods. The monsoon season has been pretty rough in India, and here in West Africa, here's the start of another annual rainy season, which it's going to be pretty brutal. You have droughts in some places, and then other places are just getting drowned in water. Around 66,000 residents from many different regions have been affected, and 42 people here have been killed. In Australia, the worst flu season on record, according to statistics. The 2019 flu season is Australia's worst recorded in history, with over 250,000 cases reported. And that was confirmed in 2018. There's some interesting articles and write-ups on disease, pandemic, and flus when it comes to climactic changes and abrupt earth changes. Some affiliate it with cosmic rays, which is sort of interesting. That's why I felt it was notable. Let me just take a look in the chat here. Doesn't look like we got a push notification. Whoever's watching out there, hello. Just give me a second here. All right. This storm is apparently pronounced Fascia. Maybe. You can correct me on that. It looks one way, sounds another. Who knows? This tropical storm is forming in the Pacific, heading into Tokyo. The weather conditions will allow intensification to peak at 167 kilometers per hour. That's 103 miles per hour. And they're expected that landfall for September 8th. Record landfall in Kyushu. We've covered this quite a bit with the monsoon season. Record rain struck northern Kyushu on August 27th and 28th, 2019, and continued to devastate parts of southwestern Japan, killing at least 3 people and triggering evacuation orders for around 870,000 residents. 1.9 million were advised to evacuate. Parts of the region saw hourly and 24-hour rainfall totals. The Japan Meteorological Agency said torrential rain was at the level the region has never experienced before. And you have all seen the flood footage that I've posted. And ironically, when I spend hours and hours and hours editing, compiling the footage from these floods, I don't know why, but it gets restricted. I don't think they want people assembling all the pieces to the puzzle to see the big picture. This is worldwide flooding. Cities destroyed, farms destroyed, the crop loss, very intense. And we've been on this channel, I've lost track, over 3 years. And this year has been the worst by far when it comes to rain events. World news, just going through all the articles I haven't touched base on. The Shivalu volcano, you know how much I love that volcano, everyone. I wanted to, there were several eruptions with the Shivalu volcano. If you guys have questions or concerns, feel free to leave a comment and reach out to me. I have shown the satellite data, and I can post a link in the description below. I don't know if you guys can see this really good. This is a great website that covers volcanic cloud imagery. It's the Volcanic Cloud Monitoring system. It's interesting. You can pull down the drop down Kamchatka. You got different levels, so you can see the different ash plume clouds. I haven't really queued it up for you guys to view, but you can. I wanted to show you just how it works. You choose this is more of a zoomed out version, and these are the different instruments to give you different views. You can have this one I find most useful, the actual ash height, so you can see the actual height of the volcano, and then you can choose the end date, which unfortunately instead of a calendar selection, they have for some reason put in this long drop down menu. So if you need to go back further in time, be patient, it's all there. And the images are, I believe, in 10-minute intervals, but you can choose to see full days, 12-hour days, 8-hour days. It'll allow you to compile that data, animate your own images, all that. I know a lot of people have been asking about that, so there it is. Back to world news, the Stromboli volcano. I don't know if we really covered this a lot last week. Again, we've been covering the hurricane so extensively, I've lost track of the going-ons. The Stromboli volcano, very dangerous because a lot of people, tourists go there to visit, and not safe. Take a look at some of these images at Stromboli. It wasn't a high-level eruption, but just a large explosive eruption. A few months ago, it actually killed a tourist on, I don't know if it was 1 or 2 tourists. I don't have that information. I'm sure they wrote it up on The Watchers. This is thewatchers.com, run by Teo. He's awesome. So there. We got severe thunderstorm producing tornadoes, hail, flash flooding in Spain. I showed this yesterday. I just wanted to overview it real quick. The severe flooding in Mauritania killed 5. Risk of outbreak waterborne diseases. The reason why I showed this article is this is not only the risk of waterborne diseases is such a high concern when you're dealing with all the precipitation worldwide. You're talking Japan, China, India. Look what happened just in the Bahamas. These places are flooded out. Waterborne diseases are a huge issue, and it's just another struggle. There's a risk of an outbreak in this region. Mauritania is, where is that? Let's see. I forgot. I had my little notes thing here, but you know, I'm live. I'm not hip to the scene. This is northwestern Africa. I don't know if the article actually says that, but I did look it up for your reference. Let's take a look at what this is. Wildfires in Bolivia. I believe we got some footage of that I wanted to show here. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I just opened this tab up by accident. I don't know, but anyway, take a look at it. Wicked wildfires in Bolivia. They lost 1.2 million. I'm not good with acreage measurements. I'm sorry, but I think it's called hectares. And then that's 3.2 million acres of forest land this year as wildfires continue. Speaking of wildfires, California, someone messaged me saying that some wildfires broke out in California due to some intense lightning strikes. So I'll have to research that and see what that's about. These weird severe thunderstorm breakups, this is just all a part of the change in our atmospheric changes when it comes to having a weakened connection to our sun. Weakened magnetosphere disturbs the planetary waves, and just weather weirdness occurs. There's a lot of technical things that go on during the grand solar minimum, and just predicting weather in general, a lot of variables, ocean oscillation and all that. You really, it takes a while to grasp it all and connect the dots. So we will be seeing more weird little pop-up storms, electrical storms. We have a lot of highly charged particles in our atmosphere. So this is the new norm, unfortunately, that we will be dealing with. Uganda confirmed new Ebola cases as a 9-year-old girl passed away in Congo. That's another, epidemic we are worried about spreading. And again, if you do research historically, digging into pandemics and all that with the grand solar minimum, well, just climate change in general, they usually go hand in hand. And there is some interesting research out there about how cosmic rays may be potential carriers to some of these weird diseases. Who knows? I haven't personally done enough research on that. Another lake dries up in Lacandan Jungle, Mexico. Native said it also dried up in the 1950s. Interesting. I'm not going too into this. I just wanted to do a quick world news update just to give you an overview of what we've missed out on here on this channel covering that storm footage. I wanted to cover this article when I first saw it a while ago. Carlton, he's one of our subscribers. He's doing great things in the community with Native Americans getting ready for the grand solar minimum and just sort of revolutionizing how they're doing their agriculture. He's doing some neat things, but he sent me a picture and we circled it around on our Facebook pages and Twitter. He sent a lot of images of huge hail in Canada, and this article backs that up. A lot of people didn't believe that the hail was actually that big. And some people actually accused him, from what I read in the Facebook comments, that he actually gathered the hail up and made his own little hail balls. But this was an actual event. Hail signs, the article says hailstones the size of grapefruits. I'm more, I don't know. I thought grapefruits were bigger than baseballs. I mean, at least they are from what I don't eat grapefruits. They're just sort of sour to me. But this, it's baseball size. It's huge. It's deadly. And it resulted in $90 million in insured damages. The intense rains and thunderstorms triggered the hailstorms on August 2nd, which caused massive damages on crops, infrastructure, vehicles, property, and commercial areas throughout Edmonton in nearby areas. Let me just see what kind of footage we got here. Let's see what we got. See, it's live, so you gotta wait for me to queue up the footage and zoom in and all the fun stuff. So I guess, let's see if you can see the radar, the intensity, and then you can see that beautiful satellite image. Yeah, baseball size hail. It's so scary. The amount of occurrences of these crazy hail events. Okay. What else have we got? Zambia on the verge of starvation as the country struggles from the worst drought since 1981. I mean, we're going to see more of this, unfortunately. If you just observe world news, observe all these countries battling drought, the highs is extremes on both ends. Extreme drought and extreme amounts of precipitation and moisture and flood equals crop loss. And look at all the countries affected. We are in worldwide crop loss danger. It's scary, and if you are not stocking up on food supplies, I really truly urge you to at least get some 5-gallon buckets. You can get them at Walmart for like $3 a piece. You can buy oxygen absorbers. I forgot what the twist lids for them, and I have a link, and it's an article right on the front page of the grandsolarminimum.com showing you how to store just beans and rice and supplies. Actually, I will come back to this at the end of the show. Hopefully someone can remind me in the chat, because I know Adapt 2030 made a statement in one of his videos. I haven't seen the video myself, but I've had several people ask me, gosh, he's saying several thousand pounds of food, Mari. Can that be right? So I'll get into that at the end of the show and sort of explain that. He's not far off. It's a hard thing to estimate food supply needs and all that for families, but I will get into that in a bit. What do we got here?
Kenyan authorities
Let's see. This is in Kenya. I lost my spot here. Oh, this is the flash floods. They actually had to close Hell's Gate National Park. 7 dead after flash floods hit the national park here in Kenya. More flash floods. I haven't done a tally of how many people have died in flash floods this year, but it seems like every day I see something. Flash floods, not only just, worldwide, it's just like everywhere, it seems. I know in the States alone, just last week, a few people died in flash floods, landslides. It's crazy. We got the Mekong River dropped to its lowest level in 100 years. This is in Southeast Asia. One of the longest rivers in the world has dropped to its lowest level in 100 years due to severe drought. Sand mining and upstream dam developments causing threats to the food supply and livelihood of inhabitants. So this is a mixture of natural disaster with drought, lack of rain, and then also man-made disaster with infrastructure. This is happening worldwide as well. Not only are we challenged by the natural disasters, we're challenged by the actual infrastructure challenge. Look at the backwater issue down south, backwater flood victims. They have been flooded out of their homes since last year. It's been months and months and months and months and months. And that primarily was an infrastructure issue. If you research it, we've gotten some catastrophic floods, but what they did was they developed that area and they stopped the development right before they put the pumps in. So essentially that backwater area, you could picture it like a bowl. So all it did was collect the water, and without the pumps being put in, the water had nowhere to go. The reason why the pumps didn't go in was because these environmentalists stopped the project because they said that it was going to hurt the wildlife. And it's crazy now, looking back, hindsight, that they stopped that project and that whole area is devastated now. Deer, all the wildlife they tried to save has either starved or drowned. So, I don't know. It just sucks, So, August 2019 was another record-setting month for Steamboat Geyser, Yellowstone volcano. A lot of people want to do what I call fear porn when it comes to Yellowstone volcano. And I'll just say this. Yellowstone volcano is not a threat to me following volcanoes. Like, I follow volcanoes a lot. And to me right now, that's the least of our concerns. There's so many other volcanoes that are more volatile, and so many people are afraid of this Yellowstone volcano. We have underwater volcanoes coming up. We have volcanoes that were labeled extinct, awakening. There's too many unknowns for people to say, oh, it's going to pop off. You know, I get people are concerned about it, but if you research the Yellowstone volcano, the way that the volcanologist explained the next eruption will be, I don't feel like it's going to be the one that's going to affect us. I think there's going to be something else that's going to be more catastrophic. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I know it's a touchy subject with people, but I feel like online with YouTube, you know, we have been battling misinformation. You have different factions of groups. You have the mainstream media. You have this so-called truther community. And I try to fence sit and be right in the middle. And as being the fence sitter, you have to just take in all the information and be objective and not latch onto an answer. I think it's a lot of people, they want answers for things like what's going on and what's going to happen. And it's hard to accept things that are unknown. It's hard for people to accept that people don't know. They can't forecast catastrophic events and all that. It's not 100%. So sit on the fence objectively. Don't be scared by it, but take the information in and be cautious of the information you take, regardless of anywhere. But as for my personal opinion, I'm not worried about Yellowstone. So, and I follow loads of volcanologists online. I don't see it as a threat. So, I don't know what people think in the chat here. Let's say, thank you, Edith. Thank you very much for the super chat. Very kind. What else have we got? Pete's in here. Carrie, a bunch of new people I haven't seen before. Welcome. Welcome to the Grand Solar Minimum channel. We are trying out a new format. I used to spend 4 to 6 hours assembling world news coverage for the live stream. I tried that out. It just was too labor intensive. As much as I want to be able to have my message articulate and perfect and whatever, you know, I think it's great coming on here, being real, making mistakes, and whatever, just getting the news out and the thoughts out. So it's something we're trying that's new, and it's going to save me some time, so I have more time to do my research. I have interviews I have to get out. I'm helping Valentina Zarkova with her website. I have a lot to do, so anything that saves me time is good. So where am I? I got to get used to this new format. So just bear with me. It's my first time doing live world news. What's this? This is Storm Padul. It's weekend. I've covered this a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks ago. I've lost track of time. Tropical Storm Padul killed 5 in Thailand and damaged 1,000 homes. Tropical Storm Padul weakened into a low tropical depression after it made landfall in north-central Vietnam on August 30th, 2019, with average wind speeds between 40 and 60 kilometers. That's about 25 to 37 miles per hour. Meanwhile, the storm slammed provinces in the north and northeast areas of Thailand, hitting the province of Konkan. I don't know if I pronounced that right. It hit that, I think it's Konkan, the worst. Deadly flash floods and landslides produced by the rains took lives of 5 residents. More landslides, deadly floods. Let's see, Edith. Yeah, she agrees with me on Yellowstone. You know, the more you research, it's so easy to get sucked into like these little dimensions on social media, and what they are other people's belief systems, and actually walking that thin line, tightrope walking in between everyone else's views and trying to objectively think. It's tricky because there's a lot of disinformation out there. So anyway, let's see. Tropical cyclone Kajiki, I think, is next. Actually, no, I skipped one. So heavy rain spawned deadly floods in Morocco. I think I played some of this footage on one of our live feeds. Let's take a look. Whoa, some loud stuff here. More landslides. Look at this. Let's see if I can zoom in here. I don't even know how these people feel comfortable taking footage of this, to be honest. It's so dangerous. We recently covered severe weather in Morocco. The violent weather conditions keep on affecting several areas around there. Strong winds produce massive debris flow in this area, and widespread damage was reported. Look at this. Wow. Whew. All right. Kajiki, tropical cyclone Kajiki made landfall in Vietnam on September 3rd, triggering floods and landslides. More floods, more landslides. At least one person was killed and one remains missing. Harsh rains will continue to hit Vietnam over through today, actually. Kajiki is expected to head northeast China and western Taiwan. That's where it's moving to. You can see here, Myanmar had significant flooding. A couple weeks ago, I was reporting it's just relentless monsoon season with record rainfall everywhere. Insane. So that's what I got for the world news. We're going to be diving into more climate news and weather news tonight. We're also going to be going over our crop report, the crop report. I'm not sure what else Jake has planned. We haven't done a regular live show in a while. Plus, we're doing this format change. I'm not sure. I'm doing the world news earlier in the day, and then the live show with Jake will be climate news and some world weather, I believe he'll cover. We'll see. I don't know. You know, if you guys have feedback or suggestions on what you want to see, we're open to different suggestions. I like hearing what you guys like to see, what you don't like to see, and we tweak things based on you, our viewers. Your opinion matters. You're part of this GSM community, and to me, we're all one big family, just trying to get the information out, understand what's going on, and come up with solutions on how to adapt to the changes that we're seeing. Now, I promised you that I was going to, let's see, I don't want to go too long with this update, but I did promise to go in about the food supply. Do people know in the chat has anyone seen that Adapt 2030 video? I have not seen it, so I'm not sure what exactly he said. I know I've gotten a lot of people concerned. He's saying if you want to be in good standing, basically save up thousands of pounds of food. I'll wait to see if people are in the chat and see if I can find my little page here. I got like a million different windows open. I'll have to set this up better when I'm my next live show. It's all a learning lesson. All right, I guess I lost my, actually no I didn't. I'm gonna move this over This is a cool little chart. I'm going to push it into this. Let's see if you guys can see it. All right, let me go here. Okay. So we got the question, do I really need to store up thousands of pounds of food? What's it going to take to be ready? We know food shortages are on the way. And, you know, honestly, I can't put a number on what would work for you, food storage wise, to be good. Everyone's scenario is different. Some people live on farms, they have animals, they have chickens that, you know, will contribute to their food supply. Some people don't have the land to do that and have to rely on stocking up dry food storage. So I don't have all the numbers off the top of my head, but I wanted to give people a perspective of pounds per amount. And I've dug up some research on that, and hopefully I can pull it off the top of my head. Right. So say you just want to stock up on rice and beans. From what I've researched, say dry beans, a 5-gallon bucket of dry beans is about 30 pounds. Rice is about the same. 2 buckets of one of rice, one of beans would last approximately, from different sources I've researched. I really don't know how this is calculated, but to live off of would last one person approximately 50 days. So when you add up everything, say you have a family of 4 and you want to just stock up food for that dry food, you know, if you really want to live off of rice and beans is a worst case scenario. I don't know how great that is. I would suggest having varied things and definitely be growing and, you know, trying to be innovative with these solutions. But I estimated, and I'll overestimate, I believe, about 1,400 pounds. So 1,400 pounds of rice and beans for a year for a family of 4. And these are all estimates based on different sources. I can't tell you that they're exact, but it's to give you perspective. So when you hear David at Adapt 2030 say, stock up thousands of pounds of food, it's like, wow, did he just say that? Is that real? But yeah, it does add up approximately to that. Let's see what this person said. Adapt was mentioning saving 100 pounds here and there of bean and rice because it's so cheap and you can watch it as time. Yeah, that's right. So I agree with him totally on that. And don't be overwhelmed by the number of 1,000 pounds. Start small and just add to it as you can. Rice and beans are cheap. And I have an article, actually, let me pull it up on our website. I'll post this chart because I just think this is a good chart for reference. I'll post that on our site later today. I have some errands to run today after the show. But when I get back later this evening, I will put it on. Let me see if I can get our site going here. You know, sometimes when I mention our website on social media, it crashes. So I might not be able to pull it up right now. We'll see. You gotta love live, right? I probably should have had my website like queued up. Everyone's going to the site and be like, I want to see that article. Okay, so on the front page, let me see what I'm looking at here. This is like the mobile view of because I have my browser window so small. On the front page of thegrandsolarminimum.com, I posted this article that says get started saving food, how to save with Mylar. You know, just I was researching just cheap, quick, easy ways to get started with saving food, because a lot of people are so frozen in fear they don't even know where to start. Like they take in the information and they're just like, it's too much. But I beg people, don't be scared just to get started. Like just do just one foot in front of the other. Let me see, my windows are going crazy here. So let me scroll. So these buckets, I've seen these buckets on sale at Walmart for like $3, $2. they are going up in price, and there are stock supply issues of these buckets because I looked at ordering some online and they were out of stock. So, it's you got to keep your eye out for cheap ones here. Let's see. Here we go. So these are the Mylar bags you're going to want to store. You can get cheap ones, and if you don't have something to seal them, just use like an iron. Just like a hot iron against something, and that'll seal it. Be sure to use oxygen absorbers. This particular chart shows you how much to use for 5-gallon buckets, so it's very useful. I'll add this chart into this article, and there's links that show you. Let me see if here. So here's the tops. Those are just cheap tops. These are I should have added, actually, I don't know. There's other tops I'll have to add. I always forget the name of the seals. What are they called? I don't remember what they're called right now. Brain fart. So anyway, there's more information here. There's links to sealers, oxygen absorbers, Mylar bags, the packages of rice. Take a look at it, and it'll give you an overview on just how to get started. Start with start with 3 or 4 buckets, and every little bit counts. Rice is cheap enough where it's not too hard to stock up. So take a look at that. We'll be back on live tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with our regular Grand Solar Minimum climate news. So I hope you guys like this world news. I don't know how well I did. It's unscripted live. A lot of people sometimes with our live shows are like, you know what? You'd sound a lot better if you just said stuff like this way, and you'd sound better if you did that. We're live, unscripted. We're real. I'm not reading off of a teleprompter or anything. I'm just looking at the articles and giving you my opinion, whether I'm well spoken or whatever. That's your opinion. Just warning people with me doing the world news, the suggestions. I'm real. What can I say? I love all you guys. I just love this community. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully I'll be able to do this. I'm not sure how often I'm going to be doing the world news updates. I don't want them to go to... This one went a little bit longer than I anticipated because it's just a lot to cover. I haven't covered world news in about a week and a half. So maybe I'll pop in daily with shorter versions, or maybe I'll do every other day with slightly longer versions. We'll see how it goes, how you guys like it, and all that. Until then, hopefully I can see you all tonight. And thank you very much for tuning into the Grand Solar Minimum channel. If you haven't been to our website's thegrandsolarminimum.com. All links usually are right there. All the news today, I just pulled from watchers.com. I talked to Teo a lot. We brainstorm on some things like the Chevelou volcano. He vets his information and strives really hard to get true information that's not manipulated or sensational. He just delivers the facts and the information. And that's why I really, 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 truly appreciate and respect Teo at the Watchers.news. So thank you all. Have a great day, and hopefully we'll see you tonight. Do you like this show? Give us a thumbs up. Want to support us more? Share to your favorite social media platform. Buy a t-shirt or become a Patreon. All links are in the description below.